guys see all the lily pads. There's some floating muck over there. You can see there's a branch right here in the water. All the way down there's little grass outcuts like that, branches hanging over. Even way down there there's a tree in the water. So this is a good place to start. If it's been here a while, there's definitely time for bass to grow. So I'm gonna get my setup, watch for alligators because there's big ones out here, and we'll get to fishing. And look at the roads today. Look what they did to my beautiful truck. Got it all dirty. They're doing construction on the entrance, so I guess they're gonna pave the road because they put a gun range out there, and a lot of people are complaining because the road's bad, but they've never even come out here before, and now they're starting to complain about the road. So now they're gonna pave it. Here's my setup. Mach 1 super speed. I use 20-pound braided, and I believe this is 15-pound leader because I don't like to mess around. I want to make sure I can get them out of all the weeds and grass and whatever it takes to get them. Here's my sweet pack. I'm going to be running plastic worms. They can get caught up if you're using something like this with triple hooks on them. So divers, top water poppers with these hooks on it aren't going to cut it. It's just too much stuff going on. So my favorite thing to do is a weedless worm. I don't think I'm going to use that color though, so I'm going to see what I have. I got purples. Here, this guy right here. These are my go-to. I've been using them since I was 16. So whenever I have problem fishing that day, if I'm using top water or a diver or swim jig or anything like that and not catching anything, I resort to these bad guys right here. These are great. So that's what we're going to start with. Let's rehook this right here through the top, just enough. I like to bring it out a little further down than the top. That way you got the hook right about there. Seems to work pretty good. Instead of just like doing it like this right here, you're better off bending it to get a little bit back further, so when you bring it through, it's a straight worm, straight as possible. I can hear the fish popping over there. I'm so excited. All right, put it through the top and you're ready to go. Let's go fish. I'm gonna do a few more casts at this spot, but it does look a little murky and it smells like shit over here. So I know there's better spots. Yeah, this is just the first hole I come up to. Something's dead. Oh, right out of its mouth. Probably a little dink or gar. I don't know. You probably can't see it, but there's 2 gar right there. So either a dink or a gar that just hit. My favorite thing about these worms is they're packed full of salt, so they have weight on them. And you don't have to use any sinkers or anything. You just free line them. And you can work them on the surface, or you can let them sink and you can let them fall like a Senko and drip them on the bottom, jump them up and down. But I mean, they're just so versatile, and the bass love them. They smack it. Only downside, they're more expensive, and they don't last as long. So you can probably get like 3 hits out of one of these, 3 good hits. A big bass can tear this thing right off. You'll never see it again. But that, to me, that's still worth it, because they'll get something pretty much every single time. I have no doubt we're gonna catch a few fish today. Size, I'm not too sure, but we are definitely gonna get something. Ain't gonna get skunked. Little gator coming to see what's up. Stuck on cattails. And the little gator's gone. probably like 4 foot. Oh, there he is. He came back up. You always want to keep your eye out and keep watching. Call it gator watch. Every once in a while you want to scope across so you can see those little suckers. These are right there, and he'll come over for sure. If you hit topwater with alligators, their instincts just make them go for it. Hey, little guy. Not gonna bother you. You don't bother me. What I had to do right there was rip the tip off because, like I said, these worms are so soft that they fall apart, but they're still good. You just rip them off a little bit until you're down to a nub. They'll catch fish all the way to, like, I mean, you can rip this sucker down to here. I've caught fish on something that small. If there's an alligator by you when you're fishing, just try to keep it under the water and he won't bother you. It's, like I said, the top water that really gets their attention. That's a pretty decent sized gator right there by the shore. See him down there in that little tunnel? Oh, there he goes. He would take your leg off for sure. Be careful out there, guys. That's it, just a little bump. All right. Finally. Oh man. Yeah, he's little. Not as small as they come. I gotta go get my pliers for this guy. Get him going. Small, but still bass. Fishing is an adventure in itself. You have good days, you have bad days. It's 12:42 right now, so normally bite isn't too good right now for bass, and I'm getting hungry. So we are gonna wrap it up and call it a day. One fish, couple bites, couple gators. Normal day fishing in Florida. Hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions about my setup, go ahead and leave it down in the comments. Other than that, like, subscribe, and don't forget, always stay outside. While I'm out here fishing, I can never give up the opportunity to check out my hunting spot. It's produced. There's tons of deer back here. It's pretty good for doe season. We got archery right around the corner. I got a 7-point buck from this area a couple of years back, 2019, I believe. He's going. I don't know if I'm going to run trail cams this year, but if I do, I'll show you guys what I find. As of now, there's already good sign of deer. It just poured yesterday, so whatever came through here was here this morning. So that's good sign. There's not many places for these deer to come from. So there's this little area. This is all open field right here. It opens up on the other side, and there's a wood line, probably 100 yards, and then it opens up to another field with a bunch of water in it. But there's a trail that runs perfectly in that wood line to the road. So that's usually where they go, and that's usually where I sit up. I was in a tree last season, right on that other side, and had a pretty nice spike come through during doe season, and I took a shot at it, hit the no man's land, passed straight through, deer ended up walking away. I called on a tracker, and me and this tracker got his dog out here, and we were out here for a few hours, like three or 4 hours looking for the deer. Found one drop of blood and ended up calling it a day because the deer was gone. The dog picked up on it and just we just kept tracking and tracking. I'm probably gonna end up trying this spot again this year, and hopefully it produced. I mean, there's a bunch of deer coming through. It's just being in the right place at the right time. So I'm gonna walk down to this other entrance and see what we got for prints. That's a tiny right here. Look at that. You definitely had babies. I know last season there was a doe that had 2 fawns that we ended up passing on because of that. They tend to bring the buck in here, so that's good to know. This is definitely it for me. I'm gonna hop in the truck, get some water because I'm thirsty, and go get some food. And I'll see you later for real this time. Bye.